Welcome back to DS Trucks. In today's video, we are going to follow up on the oil consumption on our 2020 F450 with the 6.7 liter Powerstroke. Now, if you follow the channel, do you know that when we bought this truck, everything ran great, everything's running great, but after the first couple thousand miles, the truck was a quart low on motor oil. So I added a quart and continued, and throughout the life of this engine, it has always been a quart low about halfway through the oil life, according to the oil life monitor. Now, as far as miles are concerned, I am coming up on my third. See, the first time we did 10W30, which was the factory fill diesel motor oil. The second time around, we did 5W40 Motorcraft. The third oil change, we did the Hot Shot Secrets 5W40 Motorcraft. And this will be our fourth oil change. I ordered AMSOIL 0W40 full synthetic. So I'm trying different oils, but the point is, throughout the life of this engine, it's used some oil. Now, I don't know if it's because I switched to the 0W40. Well, technically, if you think about it, that shouldn't have been the issue because it had the oil consumption since new. So I've talked to a lot of different people and I've gotten kind of mixed responses from a lot of different people. Some say that it's normal, and for an engine this big, being a 6.7, displacement's got a lot of surface area for the piston rings and all that, it's normal for it to use some oil. And other people have said that their 6.7 Powerstroke has not used a drop of oil. And then I've heard from other people that their engine used the oil for a period of time when it was new, and then as it broke in, it used less oil as it broke in. So a little bit of mixed emotions there, a little bit of mixed response from different people. But I'm thinking that it's gonna be okay, and I'm thinking that it is normal for this engine. So I'm hoping that it's just going to stop burning oil as it kind of breaks in, and it does seem like it had slowed down a little bit, but nonetheless, we checked it before, and I am going to check it now again for you. So let me grab my tripod, and I'll see you guys once I can set the camera up. See you in a second. All right, so I got the camera set up. Let's go ahead and pull out the dipstick and see where we are at here. So we are at about 3% left on the oil life monitor. I think I've already added a quart oil, or half a quart, I can't remember. But anyway, let's go ahead and check it and see. I did bring it back to the full mark already one time, and I think we were about 50% at the time when I did that. And we'll pull it out. And you know what? It's not bad, guys. Look at that. Used a little bit, but yeah, it's still there at the full mark. Interesting. So yeah, maybe our oil consumption has finally slowed down. But if you look at that, I want to say it's right there where I filled it. I can't remember if I used that top line. I'd have to look back at the video. But yeah, it's still full. Now the truck is leaning backward just a little bit because it's on the driveway, but it's not a whole bunch. Shouldn't really affect the level too much. I will show you that, but not bad, guys. Maybe I'm gonna stop burning oil now. But yeah, check it out. Here's the truck. This is the little bit of a rake that it's on from the driveway. Not enough to really throw anything too much off, just a slight, it's leaning back. The back wheels are leaning lower than the front, just a little bit. But if you haven't seen the F450 yet, if you're new to the channel, check it out. It's a 2020 F450. We've got about 11,000 miles on it so far. So far, what we've done to this truck is we've done the extended running boards. Now, I didn't get these from the factory. These extended running boards, I actually ordered these from Ford. It cost a fortune, but I ordered them from Ford. Now, what they are, these extended running boards, is they're solid aluminum running boards that actually go all the way to the back, and it's got this is a plastic cover, but this is all one piece, solid aluminum, running all the way back. I did a video installing lights here on the rear of these running boards, and those lights help me back up at night. They shine straight back at these dualies. Now, I do want to add another light to that circuit, which is not that hard to do, but I need to add another light and put it just in the rear of the truck, shooting straight back. I think that would be cool because it's hard to back these up at night. Tinted windows are not your friend at night. But what I did with this running board is, if you ever notice the extended running boards on Super Duties, they don't come with the Super Duty insert that I believe they came out with this insert in 2020. But if you get the extended running boards, you do not get the Super Duty insert, and that is this embossed plastic thing that's in here. And another thing with the extended running boards is they actually delete one of the brackets. So when you look underneath the running board, you can see that there is a bracket right here in the middle, right where you would step to get inside the truck. When you buy these extended running boards, they actually delete this bracket, and they only have the front one and the rear one, which is right here. But they add the structural support in the back on this, in the form of this little bar. If you can see that bar right there, you can see mine has stainless steel hardware up there. If you can see that stainless steel hardware. And the reason that I have stainless steel hardware is because I had to go buy the hardware for this after the fact. I probably should have went with grade 8, but I went stainless. But what I did with this running board install is I actually, because I had the original running boards, I had this bracket and I drilled the holes and then installed the J-clips to make sure that this bracket was in here instead of not. So this is way stronger. A lot of people with extended running boards with this bracket deleted, they say that they can feel the running board flexing, which is not an issue for me because I do have this bracket installed and I have this plastic thing. So this is pretty unique with the Super Duty embossed plastic and the actual bracket added back in, and very sturdy and all original Ford parts, which is nice as well. And some more stuff that we've done to the truck, and I keep my mods pretty subtle because I do use this as a work truck. I haven't done anything crazy with the wheels, although I do kind of want to do something with wheels, but at the same time I don't want to look too crazy. I mean, the truck's already so flashy as is, so I don't want to be rolling on like 38s. I do want to, but all in time. We do spread salt with this truck, and I have videos on the salt spreader install, which I need to probably clean this thing, it's all dusty. But yeah, videos on that install, very cool install. We do have some built right stuff here, and then we have some tack form mounts on our built right mount. So I love this tack form mount, holds the phone real nice. I don't have a phone with me to even show you, but it holds the phone real nice. Just take the phone and just clip it in there. One hand works real good. I know the RAM mounts are cool too, but I think the benefit with going with the tack form is you can use one hand, and I think you kind of need two hands with the RAM mount. Then also have an action camera mount, which I use this all the time. And a lot of people will say like, man, that's messy and all that, and there's got too many wires everywhere. And I get it, but at the end of the day, I use this truck so much. I'm in here, I got my phone up here, I'm playing podcast. I got my camera here, I'm shooting podcast. These cords, as you see, I'm charging up my camera right now, and that's probably done. But these cords I've wired into the truck to, I've wired these cords into the truck so that I can charge with the engine off, key off. I can charge any phone, anything. And there is a power point right here with 3 outlets. And I did make the mistake of not making these fast chargers, but they are nice. I mean, they're relatively fast, but they're not like hyper fast. So that was a mistake. But yeah, we did tinted windows all the way around, windshield and everything. We did a snowplow install. That is out there, very cool. It was a little challenging. We got some wrong parts and we had to redo everything, but nonetheless, we got the Fisher Western snowplow install, the bracket and everything. My buddy Powerstroke Tech Talk helped me with the bracket, with the wiring, then had some issues with some parts and ended up getting the right parts, and boom. So one thing I did learn about the F450 is there is extra cooling in the front, and there's a special front bracket that makes room for another radiator that the F450 has, and you have to get a certain bracket in order to be able to put that radiator in. For me, because I got the wrong bracket, my dealer dropped the ball a little bit, but I was able to modify the bracket, or the radiator bracket, in order to fit in the truck. So we got our snowplow installed. I do wish this was trimmed a little nicer, but I did it so fast. I barely had any time, and then the Fisher mount makes you cut so much material off. This is the bracket modification that we did. I just had to kind of had to modify these slots on this rubber grommet right there to accept the plow, because if you look here, this radiator is like between this bracket and there's not enough room, so I modified these slides a little bit there, and it is corroding, so I should probably put some oil on that. But right there you can see that little bit of rust because I had to cut into it a little bit. It's not a big deal. It's not gonna like rot away anytime soon, but you can see that right there, and that is what we had to modify just to open up this opening so that this radiator could fit in here. Moving forward on our installs, we do have a power inverter installed on the truck, where you see this mega fuse right here. I actually put a piece of aluminum bar underneath this little fuse mount, and this basically is on my battery. It's 4 gauge, 0 gauge, 4 gauge, so 4 0 gauges thick wire going to the rear of the truck to power a power inverter. So you can see that there, that we installed that. Tons of videos installing that, and we have tons of videos installing the snowplow. Here you can see the wiring's a little bit lighter, but I did not do the aluminum bar on this side, but I wish I would have, now that I look at it. But yeah, this is our snowplow fuse. It's a 200 amp fuse. The wiring's a lot lighter. It's 6 gauge wire versus this is 000 wire. So 000 wire, and the videos that I did on this wiring, you can see me making the lugs, you can see me shrinking the tube and all this to make all this stuff work. So let's take a look over in the back at the power inverter, which is actually on. I'm probably gonna turn it off, but I am actually charging my drone batteries right here, and let's see if they are charged. They are fully charged. You can see that. Drone batteries are full. And I've got a 3000 watt inverter. I did test this thing at about 50% of its capacity, maybe a little more, on an air compressor. This thing will power a big air compressor. So this thing's pretty impressive. Without breaking a sweat, it powers a big air compressor, starts it and everything. I don't know if I could run like the full 3000 or 6000 watt surge that this thing has. I don't know. I mean, it costs for 300 amps, and I have a 397 amp dual alternator on the truck. So once it does start working, you will hear the engine rev up a little bit. But yeah, it's pretty impressive, guys. Pretty impressive. But I do need to remember to turn it off, because if I don't, it just being on drains your battery. So I've got to turn it off. There's a switch over here. Click. It turns it off. But cool stuff. I've got some Milwaukee stuff here. Sorry about the mess, but I got my Milwaukee drills right there, and I've got my batteries charging. right there. So my Milwaukee batteries, I can rapid charge all 3 of these batteries all at once with the biggest batteries that I can put on here. No factor, no problem. So if I'm out on a job, I can actually charge up some serious batteries, guys, some serious batteries. With I can charge all 3 of these, and I can put a 4th one in here if I want. I only got 3 outlets on this though, and I need to actually get a power strip and run it underneath my rubber mat and put it on my Built Right seat tech plate. That's what they call these, tech plates. Now this I got from Built Right, and I have to say, I do enjoy this. Got my fire extinguisher mounted here, and really, I can mount anything on here. So I'm thinking if I get a power strip, I want a nice black power strip, maybe with some weatherproof coverings, and I can put that here on the Built Right, and that way I can have more outlets. I can charge as much as I can plug in. I mean, I got 3,000 watts, I got 397 amp dual alternators, I got 0 gauge 4-0 wire running to my battery. I've got now a lot of guys will maybe point out that it might not be able to do the full 3,000 of the inverter, but from the tests that I've done, nothing's stressing, nothing's getting hot, and the fans are barely kicking. But I was only running like 2,000 watts, and realistically, I'll probably only ever run like 2,000 watts. But the benefit is that this thing never really works hard, so maybe it's not going to be a bad deal. We'll see. If anything blows up, you guys will be the first to hear about it. But I do have my fire extinguisher mounted here. I got 1 screw in there. I might add another one just to make it a little bit more firm as it kind of hangs out here. This is a Buyer's Mega Wrap. I forget what they call these, but you could just pop this off and get to your extinguisher. Oops. Pop that off and get to your extinguisher pretty quick, and that's nice to be able to do. I'll have to put that back up when I got 2 hands. But like I say, I want to mount a power strip maybe right here, or maybe here on the side, and that way I could charge more devices, and I can just charge anything and not rely on just having these 3 outlets. But as far as modifications go, I think I've showed you guys pretty much everything. So if you like these kind of modifications, subscribe to the channel. There'll be more to come. Yeah, we've got our Super Duty bed mat. Sorry about the mess again, I got some stuff back here, but we've got our Super Duty bed mat. And the Chevy guys might know that there were some commercials about the Ford trucks and their aluminum beds not being strong, but I've got this rubber mat to absorb anything that hits it. I don't know if it's really true that the aluminum's weak. I think on Super Duties they run it thicker, and maybe I think Ford actually increased their thickness of their running boards, or their beds. They've increased the thickness of their beds in order to compensate for those crazy commercials that GM made. But anyway, that's it for modifications on this truck. There will be more to come in the future, so subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. But looks like our oil consumption has slowed down. Hopefully it's done and it's broken in. It does seem like the truck is getting faster. But anyway, my name is Sean. This is DS Trucks. See you guys in the next video. Over and out. Bye.